Hello, my name is Joshua and welcome to the first scripted video on this channel. Yay! So hopefully you'll be hearing less ums and ahs throughout this video. Today I thought I'd go through something that I discovered was a thing and I had to make a video on. The Queen Iceburg. If you have been living under a rock for the past few months, an iceberg is based on one subject and ranges from things that most people know about that subject and progressively gets more satanic. This one by SpidaTheDuck stood out to me the most because it includes many things about the band that most hardcore fans won't actually know. The creator of this iceberg has also explained some of these in the comments of his Reddit post. I will be quoting him for some of these lower tiers that I am not so sure about and couldn't find a lot of information about. So let's start where all icebergs start, at the start. This one is a really easy one to find. You can just type in Freddie's name and it will just be in the Wikipedia page. So yeah, basically Farouk Bulsara was Freddie's birth name, which when he started touring with Queen later changed to Freddie Bulsara. Then finally in 1971 he legally changed it to the name we all know and love, Freddie Mars. Smile was a band created by former 1984 members Brian May and Tim Staffel. Roger Taylor joined to form the group after seeing an advertisement on his college notice board informing him that Brian and Tim needed a Ginger Baker type drummer for their band and were opening auditions. Roger then got the job and the trio was signed to a label in 1969, which meant they got to create songs in a professional studio the same year. Tim was attending art college that year where he met Freddie and became friends. He introduced Freddie to the band. Freddie became a fan and attended most of their gigs. In 1970, Tim left to join another band, Humpy Bong. Smile disbanded, Freddie joined to create Queen, and the rest was history. Smile recorded 6 songs in total in both Trident Studios in Soho and Delaney Studios in Holborn, which can be heard today with a quick YouTube search. Tim wrote a few songs that were never performed or recorded, such as Silver Salmon, which was later recorded as a demo by Queen in 1977. These ones are kind of random, they're just random performances from the late 70s, but I'll go through them anyway. In February and December, Queen performed in the Sam Houston and the Summit in Texas. There was no footage or audio released of the February show, and there's both audio and video of the December show. Queen later performed 2 more shows at the Summit during 1980 and 1982. On the 6th and 7th of June, Queen performed at the Earl's Court in London. Footage and audio of both performances are available, but the second performance is very low quality. Hyde Park was Queen's one and only free concert and was part of their short summer tour of 76. Audio and video is available to the public as well, so yeah. After News of the World was released, Roger decided to sing, produce and perform his first 2 pieces of solo work, I Wanna Testify and Turn on the TV. These songs were released as a single that same year, but unfortunately didn't perform very well in the charts. The song was actually a mix between 2 songs, The Parliament's I Wanna Testify and The Persuasion's Women and Drinking. In 1981 he released his first solo album, Fun in Space, which peaked at number 18 in the British album charts. Since then he has released an additional 4 albums, his last being Fun on Earth from 2013. Brian started his solo career fully in 1992 with his debut album Back to the Light, which got to number 6 in the UK charts. Since then he's released the album Another World in 1998 and wrote the soundtrack to the 1999 French sci-fi film Fioria. He's most recently producing songs for a new and upcoming band called King's Daughters. Norman Sheffield was the manager for Queen from 1972 to 1975 and owned one of the companies in the Trident Studios group. After a fallout with the company and Norman himself due to the band being paid minimum weekly wage, £60, the band hired a new lawyer, Jim Beach, and signed to the new label EMI. It was most likely that the opening song of A Night at the Opera, Death on Two Legs, was a diss track at Norman for how badly they were treated during that time. Sheffield sued the band due to this reason, which led to an out-of-court settlement. Norman wrote about this incident in his 2013 book Life on Two Legs, Set the Record Straight, which was published a year before his death in June 2014. See What a Fool I've Been is a non-album track which is a B-side to 7 Seas of Rye, and according to Brian, it was based on a Brownie McGee and Sonny Terry song, The Way I Feel, and was rumoured to be played live by Smile. Nuff said. Hangman is a currently unreleased demo recorded by the band during the debut sessions. The song has been performed a few times during this time, suggesting that the demo may be close to a finished track. The live versions can be easily found on the web. The Cross were a band created in 1987 by Roger Taylor, who was the lead singer and rhythm guitarist for the band. The band also included Clayton Moss on lead guitar, Peter Noon on bass, and John McRae on drums. They released 3 albums and went on 3 tours supporting the albums before splitting up in 1993. Roger later released these albums remastered in his 2013 box set The Lot, which also includes all of his solo work. The band reunited the same year for a one-off performance in Guildford, 25 years after their breakup. In 1972, whilst the recording of the debut was taking place, Freddie was approached by Trident Studios house engineer Robin Cable, who wanted someone to record chorus for I Can Hear Music, the Ronettes song, and Going Back, a Dusty Springfield song, for a musical project he was working on. Robin thought that Freddie's voice would be perfect for the songs, so Freddie accepted. The songs featured Brian on guitar and Roger on drums, basically making them Queen songs, but Freddie did not want the Queen name used for the release, so instead created the name Larry Lurex. The songs were released as a single 1 week before the debut album was released. Performances that were set to release, such as Live Killers and Wembley, usually had overdubs in the studio by the band on parts they were unhappy with. These overdubs were usually on multi-tracks of the live performances so that the original recording couldn't be heard underneath, which was not the case with the Wembley performance, as the original vocals can be heard underneath the overdubs. Feelings was a near enough complete demo recorded by the band during the News of the World sessions. The song was confirmed to exist by a playing of take 9 of the song at the 2001 fan club convention, and in 2011 a take 10 of the song was remastered and released on the deluxe edition of News of the World. The night before Queen was to perform a few songs for the popular American skit show Saturday Night Live in 1982, Freddie apparently had a fight with his then boyfriend Bill Reed, which left him with a very poor voice the next morning. He spent all day trying to recover his voice in time for the show, but his vocals were still not up to his standards. Bill was very abusive towards Freddie, and one time, during a fight the night before the Milton Keynes concert, bit Freddie so hard on the hand that he was taken to hospital and required stitches. Vocal nodules are hard, rough growths on your vocal cords and are often caused by straining or overusing your voice. This was exactly what Freddie did at the beginning of their North American tour of 1975 and was diagnosed with the condition later that month. When Freddie was given the opportunity to get them removed, he denied, worrying that it would affect his vocals. The condition would affect him for the rest of his life and can be heard in live performances spanning the next 10 years. On the 1st of December, Queen performed at the Apollo Theatre in Glasgow. This is considered one of the best Queen performances, mainly due to Freddie's vocal state. This is evident in their performance of Bohemian Rhapsody, where Freddie manages to hit a C5 on matching the studio version. This was the first and only time he would hit this note. In early 1983, Queen's manager Jim Beach and tour manager Jerry Stickles flew to South America with hopes of arranging a few dates for the band later in 1983. The tour proved to be too expensive and dangerous, so it was cancelled very early in the process. I'm not really sure about this one, and I've even asked Spider about this on Reddit, but I got no reply. I guess this is referring to multi-tracks of Queen songs that are not yet released to the public, as there is probably a few, but yeah, I'm fortunately not so sure on this one. This was the infamous show in which Freddie, after singing Hammer to Fall, falls down a complicated flight of stairs that was built for the set. He was helped to the piano, and the band, realising that Freddie was in serious pain, decided to cut the set list a few songs short. After the show, he was taken to hospital. His leg was bandaged for the rest of the tour due to this, and he would have problems with his leg for quite a long time. Freddie was actually having problems with his leg before this show as well, with a bad right knee ligament, and was just recovering from that. Audience audio of this moment taking place can be found on YouTube. Mike Millard was someone who managed to record every single performance in the Los Angeles Forum from 1974 to 1980 and continued to take performances after that. His recordings are usually high quality due to the equipment he used, which he concealed under a wheelchair to avoid being spotted. This obviously means that he managed to capture many Queen concerts in the Forum, and most of them are available to the public on YouTube today. It is known among fans that for the Knebworth concert of 1986, they were to perform the concert as they did for the Wembley show, but apparently, according to Brian, they forgot to record. This later appeared to be a lie, as Queen archivist Greg Brooks confirmed that professional footage does in fact exist, even if it is just over half and not the full performance. Also confirmed to exist was a bunch of pre-concert shots, backstage interviews and professional audio of the full concert. Some snippets of One Vision and God Save the Queen can actually be found in various documentaries and news reports. During the 80s, Freddie was involved in some of Billy Squier's albums, as they were friends at the time. This began in 1982, where Freddie joined with Roger, did backing vocals for the song Emotions in Motion, and ended in 1986, with Freddie singing an intro to and performing backing vocals for the 12-inch version of Love is the Hero. His vocals were also planned to be included in Lady with a Tenor Sax, which he co-wrote, but were not included. An early take of the song on the 2000 CD box set Solo shows what it would have sounded like with Freddie's vocals. This was an early version of Let Me Live, the song that later turned up on the Made in Heaven album of 1995. It was originally intended to be a duet with Rod Stewart, and plans for the duet started in 1976, when Rod visited the band during the A Day at the Races sessions. This didn't come to light though until 7 years later, in the work sessions, where Rod returned. A few takes were recorded before the band gave up on the project. In 1993, Brian, Roger and John took all of the complete vocals from Freddie and built a song around it, resulting in Let Me Live. A snippet of Freddie and Rod recording the song can be heard in the Great Pretender documentary.
All I do is give, all you do is take. Sorry.
Victory is a song written by Freddie and Michael Jackson around 1983 and ended up on the Jacksons album of the same name without any other involvement from Freddie. According to archivist Greg Brooks, the song originally included backing vocals by Queen, and the band later attempted a demo of the song themselves in the work sessions. Thanks for watching part 1 of my explanation of the Queen Iceburg. I've cut this into 2 parts mainly due to my computer not being able to handle all the files that I am importing into my editing software. If I have said any incorrect facts in this video, please feel free to correct or expand. As always, if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you didn't, please leave a dislike. And you maybe could subscribe. You could subscribe. Yeah, but that's all from me, and I'll see you in part 2.